It is still Mental Health Awareness Month. We talk more about that and introduce you to a professional in training. We'll tell you about an event happening this weekend that honors military veterans and a little inspiration in North Baton Rouge. Roll it, Kyle. Fantastic to be back with you again to talk about a very important topic, mental health. Mental Health Awareness Month is going on right now. And my good friend, my girl, Dr. Katie Fetzer is here with us right now. She is one of the owners of the Wellness Studio right here in Baton Rouge. You can check them out online at surprisinglywell.com. And it's good to see you. I can't wait until the second segment because we really have a treat for everyone. So, Mental Health Awareness Month. I enjoy talking about this because you turn on the news any morning and you see the impact of mental illness across our country. So first, your perspective on where we are as a country addressing mental health.
Absolutely. So first, anytime we're talking about mental health, I want to kind of frame and give us context to be able to frame this discussion in. We are currently living in, as we know, the digital age. And the digital age has put us in a time where, as human beings, we're being bombarded with an excessive amount of information. And what's happening is what we define as mentally healthy or well has evolved and changed. And the main reason for that is underpinning everything is our ability to discern truth and understand and cognitively be able to process and dispense information from our brains that's not true. And so really what we're talking about is the ability to think critically about something before our brain and minds are absorbing it. The reason that's become such an important topic to talk about when we're talking about mental health is because the digital age is not going anywhere. We are living in it. If anything, it's, as we know, artificial intelligence is now happening, correct. And so when we talk about the minds of both youth, children, and adults, digital self-care is something that's incredibly important. And so when we talk about the state of mental health and where we're in, I mean, certainly in Louisiana, we're facing a large problem. We recently just learned that 62% of youth who have major depression are not accessing mental health services. And so that's a major problem. So if we talk about the amount of children that are facing mental health issues, but then not getting support, now why that is, it's multifaceted and there's many reasons, but one of the biggest things they're pointing to is access and the insurance resources. And that's a fight and an issue that we've been, honestly, it feels like a point of frustration because it feels like we're talking about it a lot, but we're not seeing the solutions that are actually being implemented.
I agree with you. I was moving around town yesterday and saw someone on the side of, I won't say which road, but on the side of one of the roads here, someone clearly having some kind of an episode. And I thought to myself, with the money we waste on things that never impact the American public, why does someone like that in our country have to be walking around with no assistance?
Absolutely.
Why isn't that a priority?
Exactly. I would love to know. I did my research on policy making, and especially when it comes to issues surrounding mental health. And we live in a state, and this is certainly not me bashing, I think we need to come together as a team. So I'm certainly not pointing fingers. It's a perfect storm. But one of the things that we're seeing is that there's a lot of intuition-based policies as opposed to evidence-based policy. And we live in a state in which that's still happening. And so there's a lot of busyness that's going on, and sometimes issues are not made with evidence-based and taking the time to do that. And so as a result, we have a lot of policies that are either not effective or, especially when it talks about insurance and resources, you see hospitals that are closing and mental health hospitals that have closed under certain leadership, and it's created the discharge of a lot of individuals that were in a place where they maybe were getting services and now they're not.
Well, the intersection of mental illness and gun violence is a thing that we don't want to talk about. There are increasing numbers of people, younger and older, who have issues then go get an AR-15 and fire upon
Absolutely,
the public.
yeah.
There was one earlier this week in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And so we've seen people go into schools now, and there's a lot of lip service given
Exactly.
to this subject, but
Yeah.
no actual legislation that addresses it.
Amen. Yes, and that's one of the reasons I love coming on the Clay Young Show, because you bring about these issues to light while talking about accurate, educated information, as opposed to just showing an issue and just
bashing
repeating
people,
a real right.
Well,
and so you make a great point. Yeah.
What I want to do is we'll come back and talk more about Mental Health Awareness Month and talk to Dr. Fetzer about what being mentally healthy is. What does that look like? If you get a professional to define it. And then we have a guest, a treat for you. Don't want to give you any hints, but this is going to be fantastic. This will be the second time we have done this on the show, and I think that it's going to be amazing. I'm telling you, our guest is here. And coming up, we'll tell you about an event taking place this weekend, Sunday at Beausoleil, benefiting military veterans, and District Attorney Hiller Moore is here to talk with us about that. More of the Clay Young Show. Give me 2 minutes, right back. So what does it mean to be mentally healthy? Let's ask the doctor. Dr. Fetzer is here with us for another segment. What is mentally healthy?
Sure. So obviously that's going to look different depending on the individual and the unique, circumstances in their lives. However, as a whole, somebody whose cognitions and thoughts and feelings are congruent, but also grounded in what we would identify to be truth.
Okay.
Whenever mental illness, especially top-rated disorders like anxiety disorders and depression, one of the biggest symptoms or driving forces behind it is usually irrational beliefs or irrational thinking that over time can develop and tend to get kind of stuck. And it could be based on someone's it's nature and nurture, of course, but it could be based on the way someone's learning something. So in therapy, I like to say, I'm going to help you unlearn things as much as I'm going to help you learn them. Because a lot of times we have to unlearn a lot of things. But that definition of certainly involving, because we are in the digital age, as I mentioned, so our ability to discern truth from mistruth, I think is a big factor in being mentally healthy.
I really love the fact that society is opening up to the discussion about mental health, and more people are comfortable talking about their issues. Just recently, Dwayne Johnson, who is on top of the world, successful big movie star, fantastic businessman, talked about his own battles with depression. And I like to tell people it's not a problem to go see a therapist. If your tooth aches, you'll go see a dentist. If you break a bone, you go see a medical doctor. If something's going on here, you go to a clinician, a medical person who can help you get that right. So, and I love that Lamar Advertising is running these "You Are Enough" graphics on billboards here. So
that
shout
helps.
out to Lamar for people need reassurance.
Stuff like that really does help.
Speaking of reassurance, we have a guest on the set.
We do.
And I'm not talking about Hiller. He's in the next segment, but I think I'm going to like this guest a lot more.
Poor Hiller.
So let's introduce everybody to our guest.
Okay. So,
how about this?
Big girl. So this is Nana Bell. Nana Bell is a therapy dog in training. There's a big difference between therapy and service and emotional support dogs. This is a therapy dog. She will go through training and certification to visit hospitals, to work with individuals who are terminally ill or fighting illness, not physically well. And her sole purpose is to bring comfort to those lives that she touches, while also being one of the loves of my life and family.
Tell everybody why you chose a St. Bernard.
Absolutely. So St. Bernards are top-rated therapy dogs. They were bred on the Swiss and Italian border to be hospice dogs. So there's a lot of myths surrounding this breed. One of them being that were primarily rescue dogs. A lot of people imagine them with the barrel around their neck. The barrel around their neck only started happening because an artist drew it. And that piece of art became famous. So then everyone started putting barrels around saints' necks, but they never had those.
Okay.
So it was from a piece of art that influenced that. But they were bred to lay with people as they die from conditions that they were facing. And how calm you see Nana to be is how calm she should be throughout her life. Obviously, she'll still be this happy puppy and have some spunkiness to her, hopefully. But this is really just the nature of this breed, which is why they're so great to be therapy dogs.
Holy cow.
I know.
She is gorgeous. She looks asleep right now.
She might be a little nervous.
That's okay. That's okay. So let's talk about when she is fully active
Sure.
working with the Wellness Studio, what her
Absolutely.
responsibilities will be?
Okay, so we have the Wellness Studio recently launched an intensive outpatient program for individuals battling cancer or a terminal illness. Nana will be present for our groups, unless someone elects for her not to be. That it would obviously be the patient's and the client's decision, but she will be there to bring comfort to those who are needing support and just needing some love, extra love and support.
That is awesome. How long do I have left in segment? Okay, I just want people to know that you guys are really doing such great work here. Go to the
thank you,
website,
Clay.
surprisinglywell.com. Every time I'm around y'all, I'm more and more impressed
Thank
and
you,
so proud of you and
Clay.
MK for what y'all are doing. And Nana can come back anytime.
Thank you.
And you can
She
come
appreciates
too.
it.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
So listen, we're going to talk about an event taking place this weekend. This will be the 9th edition of it. We have done it since 2013, benefiting military veterans and first responders. There's a new location for it this year. Our district attorney, great friend of the show, really good guy, is going to be here to talk about some families that we're going to be highlighting at this year's Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. Back in just a moment.